Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. You find me today in possibly the windiest city in South Wales, Swansea. 2004 actually, it was nominated as the wettest city in Britain by the Met Office. I say nominated, it was given the name the wettest city in the UK. So luckily it's nice and dry today, but I am going somewhere where people used to get a bit wet, and that's the National Waterfront Museum, which is located on the old South Dock in Swansea Marina. I've got a few connections to this place, which I'll tell you later, yeah, let's go and have a look, shall we? I should probably mention as well that this museum is based on a lot of innovation in Wales and our industrial history all the way through for the last 300 years. So you expect to see a lot of old machinery as well, I think. So yeah, I just spotted something which I think is pretty cool. I'll show you it now. It's a hydrogen car which they're building in Llandrindod, Wales. It's managed to do 300 miles so far on one I say fill up, I guess, of hydrogen, and it emits zero pollution, just water basically comes out of the exhaust, which is fantastic. But they are building one at the moment, so it says on the banner in front of it that they're going to be testing in Monmouthshire soon, which they're going to call the Rasa, and hopefully that'll have a bit more range to it, and a bit more of a car for the masses, if you will. So yeah, but that's their first attempt. There's also a few Hoover home appliances from many years ago, as you can see. Not the latest models. And they used to have a factory just outside Pontypridd, I believe, which used to build all the Hoovers. I think, if I can think back that far, I believe we went there on a school trip when I was a child to see them being made. But, yeah. It's a classic model there of a Hoover vacuum cleaner, and then in this cabinet here there's quite a few items that were all built or produced in Wales, which is pretty cool. The one thing I'm not sure was built in Wales is stapler pens. Didn't know they were Welsh. I'll have to check that. It's a strange one. There we go. It's a travelling shop from 1929. This vehicle used to be owned by a gentleman called Winston Howard from Wenvo in Cardiff, and he thought there was a lot of rural communities around Glamorgan and Bridgend that didn't have access to the shop, so he thought, I'll get myself a truck of my own and fill it full of veg and groceries and sell it. So yeah, nice one. Now if we had ice cream vans like this roaming the streets, just make you want to buy more ice cream, wouldn't it? This one, I think it said on the back, was from Tonopandi, if I believe so. Yeah, Tonopandi. Yeah, really cool. And then we got another one here for a bakery. Look at that. E.J. Wilmot, baker and confectioner, Splot. Very nice. Beautiful sign writing on that one. Yeah, Swansea was well known for its pottery as well as its industrial heritage of the machinery and the shipping. You can see here some of these pieces date back to the early 1800s, when it really did find its fame. You can see they're beautiful with the flowers on them. Very expensive pieces, I would imagine. I've got some pieces here that are from Bernard Hennessy, who was a Swansea resident, and he did a lot of stuff with watches and silverware and things like that. Very clever man by the look of it. And those produced pieces like this back then. Very, very nice. Nice nautical quadrant there. Very lovely. So we've got a section here that's been put together for a man called Dr. Bird, who was also a Swansea resident, and he apparently was leading the way in trying to stop the cholera epidemics. But don't like the look of that. Amputation kit with a what looks like a mouth gag. Not very nice. God, imagine having those tools used. Ugh. Nasty. Little medicine chest up there. No medicine in it. There's a part here that talks about the power of Swansea and who was in charge through the ages. It's a really interesting fact actually about Swansea is that it hasn't always been a part of Wales. Up until 1150 it was actually a part of English rule. So yeah, it hasn't always been Welsh. A lovely setup here at this museum. Really, really nice. A lot of interactive pieces and the interactive screens there. Very nice. Well impressed with this place so far. Got to be careful where I film because there's actually a school visit next door, so I can't go into the main room because they've got that locked off. But hopefully I can swing back through there later on. Oh, you'll have to excuse the wind. That says a bit rude, doesn't it? You'll have to pardon the windy noises. I'm quite high up here, and it's a bit blustery. Yeah, this is my connection to this place. That ship right there, it's called the Helwick. It's a lightship, it is. And it was originally built in the early 1900s to warn people who were coming across the Helwick Strait in the Bristol Channel. Well, the ship got decommissioned in the late 70s, early 80s. But my friend Dan, his father used to own that ship in the early 90s. And he still has, I believe, the original navigation seahorse lamps that the ship was fitted with. The boat is now owned by a church committee in Cardiff, I believe. It used to be docked in Cardiff, but it's been down in Swansea now for a couple of years. And they used to do some fundraising stuff for churches with it. So yeah, so that's the Helwick lightship, or also known as the Helwick 2000, I believe. I think they changed the name to Helwick 2000, which I always thought was a bit unlucky. You change the name of a ship. I thought if you change the name of a ship, it's bad luck. Let's hope it doesn't sink. It's a lovely place. A lot of industrial machinery in here. We'll check that out in a minute. Right, it's a section of the museum they've called the money section, which I guess is how money was spent in Wales and what it was spent on. Nice small little room off the main drag of the museum. There's lots of little trinkets and oddities in there. Old saws and irons, old bottles and jars, and the odd corset, of course. While I kick a chair. I've just spotted something on the top shelf. Let's have a look at that. Some old cut tobacco, I guess that is. Bulwark brand. Now, Bulwark isn't far from Chepstow, which isn't far from my home. Yeah, some lovely old pieces in there. An old book and an old saucepan. Very nice. Excuse the reflection, I'll block it out. Yeah, some more bits in here. Old hair dryers and some old pottery. And you cannot get away from these things here. Another Hoover vacuum cleaner. Right, so what you see here is the Robin Goch plane, or monoplane I should call it. And the plane was built using loads of simple materials like wood and canvas. But what I do love about it is that it's got a kitchen chair as the pilot's seat, and the navigation aid is an egg timer. And for the pilot to know, if he was flying straight or flying level, he had a ball bearing on a piece of string. Incredible. Built in 1917 in a place called Maindy in North Cardiff. So yeah, I bet there's not many planes like this left in existence now. Incredible. I wonder how far it flew. Doesn't say on the sign, unfortunately, but I'd love to know. I might have to do a little bit of research on the Robin Goch. Looks brilliant, doesn't it? Right, so in this little exhibit we've got some old tools and old bits of equipment. Obviously South Wales and Wales as a whole is known for its industrial past. A lot of tin works and coal mining, steel plants. So yeah, some old kit in there. That's a big old shovel, that. It's a big shovel. Yeah, cool. And guess what? You guessed it. There's another Hoover vacuum cleaner. So in this little exhibit, there's a lot of musical heritage to Wales. So we've got Spiller's Music there, which is the world's oldest record shop, and it's still running. Still running to this day. You can go and have a look around there in the Queen's Arcade in Cardiff. If you're ever free in Cardiff, it's a great little shop to go to. Spiller's opened in 1894, I believe. There is a shop in Newport as well. So yeah, there's loads of different things in here. I'm not quite sure what the t-shirt's about. It doesn't actually say on the sign. But you've got good old Bonnie Tyler there, a signed disc, and Mott the Hoople, which I didn't know were Welsh, to be honest. But it's a funky little guitar, that, from someone called Tiger Tails. I've never heard of Tiger Tails, but I guess that's Tiger Tail. Yeah. And there we have a NME Music Award for the Super Furry Animals, which is pretty cool. Now there's a beautiful bit of machinery. A Carl Benz duck. Absolutely stunning. Look at that. And this particular vehicle was built in 1890 and it was first registered in 1904 by a Dr. Cropper from Chepstow. He didn't own the vehicle for that long though, because in 1910 he gave it to the National Science Museum in London. But in 1911 it was then commissioned by the National Museum of Wales. Absolutely stunning, look at that. Absolutely beautiful. And there we have one of Robert Trevethic's steam locomotives. This one's called the Penny Darren, and used to run from the Penny Darren Iron Works, which is up in the South Wales valleys. And this particular model used to run a 9-mile run through the valleys, going from Penny Darren to Abercynon. It had the pulling power of 10 tons, which it used to do pretty easily, I guess, because unofficially people used to jump onto the carts that ran behind it to get a lift to work. Because I wouldn't want to walk that 9 miles either, so I probably would have done the same. This particular model was built by the National Museum of Wales in 1980. The original was from 1804, but this is only a replica, and it doesn't run. Obviously, it's not a active replica, but it looks blimmin' good, doesn't it? See, when I think of South Wales is past, I think of the old coal wagons like this. These would have been all the way across South Wales prior to the 1950s, when I think they were replaced by the now larger steel wagons. But look at that. What a beautiful, beautiful renovation on that. Very nice. And this is what they call a sociable tricycle. Sociable, I guess, because you're sat next to each other rather than in tandem, so you can discuss your daily business. Not favoured by the ladies though, this one, as the long skirts would get caught in the chains and pedals, it says. So yeah, lovely though, lovely looking thing. Now the Sinclair C5. Now I didn't know Wales had a history with the Sinclair C5. I didn't know that. But yet again, the Hoover factory comes to the rescue. It was actually put into production with the Hoover factory. So this is an old tin press, which, forgive my camera, it doesn't go wide enough to take it all in, but it's a clever bit of machinery. Not quite sure why they've got ceramic pots in there, but as for the watering can, it's a lovely bit of engineering, that. Right, so that's going to conclude my visit to the Swansea National Waterfront Museum. I really enjoyed it. I think it was a fantastic setup in there, and I like the way they're still continuing to make people wear masks, especially with all the interactive activities in there. It's well worth it, and also it's free, so you can't complain about that. And I got my free coin. I say free coin, it cost me £1, but I always collect these wherever I go. Get a little bit of a collection of them. So yeah, I'm going into the city centre next to go to the Swansea Museum, so wish me luck, and you'll see that in the next video.